We have officially hit the halfway point of Season 2 of the Las Vegas High Rollers MyNBA franchise here on NBA 2K26. We are approaching the trade deadline, which we will go over today, making it up to the All-Star break. Currently, 50% into the year, we're 14-27 at a fairly similar pace to where we were last year. We had our first prospect profile of the season in the last episode. Really good class, really good group at the top with DeMarco Jefferson, Marquise Cannon, and Lando Nazario leading the way amongst others. We currently have the projected 5th pick in the draft, and we finished with the 5th worst record last year. It's a weird spot to be in because on one hand, compared to some of these other teams at the bottom, it's great that our team has some life, and we are actually winning a fair share of games. We're on pace to win 28, which is not completely horrible. But on the other hand, we could be missing out on some top picks by not being at the bottom of the standings, which could entirely impact the future of the franchise. I don't think it makes sense for this team to tank because, well, the roster's already not very good as is, so we're going to continue to really try to win games and build a group with the guys who we already have on the roster. But it's almost like maybe we're doing a little bit too well, which is weird given that we have a bottom 5 record, but it's a fair question. Now, Mark Singleton is coming off the best month of his career. The efficiency, the playmaking, the defense, better than ever. He has really made strides throughout the year, which is the biggest thing that we could ask for someone who has shown to be quite raw throughout the course of the season so far. The team is fairly banged up. We've got a few guys hurt. We'll see who gets better going into the deadline, which is on February 4th. So we've got 2 weeks of games to simulate. We've got 7 or 8 total. We've got 3 back-to-backs in there, so certainly a challenge for our guys. During the simulation, on the injury front, Devin Carter hyperextended his knee, I guess, in practice. He's going to have to miss a couple of games. I mean, he could play through it, but he'd be in, like, the 60s. So we're going to have Drew Holiday start at the point. Jalen Williams, sprained shoulder, not ideal. Oso Ighodaro will start at the 5, and we're actually going to move Singleton to the bench, given that we're going to need some more depth in terms of our bigs. We have 3 guys who can play the 5, and one of them, Jalen Williams, is hurt. And I'd rather Singleton, at this point, play with the 2s rather than start at center, given that he is primarily a power forward. So we went 2-6 in the games we simulated, which isn't great. We lost by 42 to the Pacers, 22-14 for Halliburton. They had a few guys with double-doubles. Look at Singleton, 25, 8-6, 5 of 8 from 3. Now, I will say, other than that game, he was pretty bad during the 8 games that we went through. He's a very hot and cold player. He seems to have stretches of games where he plays really well and stretches of games like we're currently in the midst of where he is not doing well. The defense was even worse here against New Orleans. They scored 150. Wait until you see the shooting percentages for New Orleans. They shot 61% from 3. That is ridiculous. We beat the Pelicans days earlier, oddly enough, with 7 players in the double figures, and it was us who shot the ball really well, 47% from beyond the arc. So we're 16-33 going into the deadline, and we're in a pretty interesting spot because we don't really have a lot of long-term contracts on the books. In the expansion draft, I wanted to get guys on 2-3-year deals who we could keep around, but now that we're 2 years in, those contracts are quite a bit shorter. Benedict Mathurin, Bryce Sensabaugh, Jake LaRavia, amongst the guys who are not under contract next year. Some of those guys have player options. Others are free agents entirely. Mathurin's an interesting case because he's been really good this year. The efficiency has been phenomenal. His value certainly has gone up. This has been a grand slam of a signing for us, even if he has missed a third of the year with nagging injuries. He's on a player option for next year, an expensive player option. We overpaid him intentionally, and we put the second-year option in there to give us and him some flexibility. Given that his value has gone up, I think we'd be foolish at the very least to not look at trade offers and consider what we can get. I put him in the trade finder trying to find something that would be A, realistic, and B, works for us. And there were not many. I mean, for instance, we could get a high pick from the Bulls, but I don't see why a non-contending team like Chicago would trade their first rounder for an expiring contract. Otherwise, most of the trades here I felt like were not very good, and we would be best off sticking with Benedict Mathurin. We could get a Nets pick. Brooklyn's kind of on the edge of a play-in spot, but their roster isn't the greatest. Should probably still be a lottery pick. And it is the Rockets, who are a contender. I thought about it with them, but I think they can get a little bit more with that pick. So I don't really see anything that makes a ton of sense. And honestly, I don't really want to trade him. Benedict Mathurin is playing really well, and he can be a guy who we try to build around into the future. He's only 24 years old, 20 points per game on great efficiency. Now, he could leave at the end of the year. His morale is a little bit below 50. Since his value has gone up, that means his contract will be more expensive in the future. But since we paid him a lot of money, that could mean that he sticks around anyway. Drew Holiday at the beginning of the year said he wanted to retire, so I originally was planning on trading him, but now he's not. Holiday has not been great, but he's played better over the last month or so. The shooting from 3, 38% in January. Holiday, of course, is in an interesting case because he's on a very large contract, and I was okay with acquiring him last year because I could use his salary in a deal where we needed to match a contract. The problem is if Holiday is the big contract in the trade, there are not many players rated as lowly as him who have equal level contracts that we can match it with. Sure, we could trade him to a team who has the cap space to take him on, but why would the Hornets, for instance, trade a cheap contract for a year and a half of Drew Holiday? That just doesn't really make sense for them. So, again, I just don't really think there's a trade out there that's realistic and makes sense for us. So I think for now we're going to keep Drew Holiday and see what the market looks like in the offseason. I think in terms of finding a trade, it's got to be somebody else on the roster rather than Mathurin or Holiday, who naturally seemed like the two best trade candidates going into the deadline. But we've got other guys who are expiring and other players who I think can help contending teams. I look at the Hawks, for instance, who are in third place in the Eastern Conference, coming off a conference finals run. They've got a good group. They've got a lot of young guys on this team. Maybe one or two of them could be expendable. Asa Newell's role has gone down this year. His production has gone down. True shooting is lower than it was last season. Estimated wins added is higher, but it's still -1 through his career. Now, the Hawks do not have anything in the trade finder, but I think the framework of Jake LaRavia and Jalen Clark would be worthwhile for them because those guys are upgrades to Newell. We would get a couple second-rounders back. They don't have to trade any first-rounders, but I did want to add a first-rounder during this year's trade deadline. So I think I'm going to add a third team to try to make this work, that being the Nets. I'm going to offer them Davion Mitchell and some seconds for a first-rounder this year. Granted, it's a Rockets pick, projected right at the end of the first round. And Jordan Holloway, who they drafted late in the second round. The reason why the Nets would do this is they're only a game out of the play-in spot. I know Davion Mitchell hasn't played very well this year, but it gets him a veteran. It gets him some defense in the backcourt, something they're really lacking, and it gets them some second-rounders that they need to stock up on. They have 3 first-rounders in 2028 and 29. They feel like they don't need that late first this year. The Nets are interested, but the Hawks are saying no. So I'm going to take out some of those second-rounders that Atlanta would give us. They're still saying no, but I think we're getting a little bit warmer. And warmer, and warmer, and both teams say yes. There we go. We've got a deal. We got a young guy who I'm excited about in Asa Newell, and we get a first-rounder in this year's draft from the Nets. Now we're giving up some solid pieces. I really like Jake LaRavia. 40-ish% three-point shooter who can guard 3 different positions defensively. I just feel like there was always kind of a logjam at his position, and we had a harder time getting him consistent minutes, but he's good. He's definitely better right now than Asa Newell, and the Hawks, they don't have time to develop a younger guy like Newell. They're going for it now. In a wide-open Eastern Conference, they have as good of a shot as anybody. They're also going to add Jalen Clark, who likewise, I wish we gave more minutes to. He played really well this year, 46% from 3, but we just kind of had a hard time consistently getting him on the court. I think he will be better off in Atlanta. Now, Davion Mitchell has not played very well this year, so again, it's easy to ask, if the Nets are trying to win, why would they trade for Davion Mitchell? Well, this is a guy who's been around winning teams in the past. Of course, national champion at Baylor. I think he gives them what they're missing defensively, and they add some second-rounders, including one this year, in the process. I like the pieces we're getting back, though. I really believe in the potential of Asa Newell to be a long-term piece for our future. He's 6'11", primarily plays the 4, but can also get minutes at the 5. I thought he had a promising rookie year. Now, he has taken a step back this year, but I think a change of scenery could do him well. Good inside scorer. He's got upside as a three-point shooter. Defensively, he can guard the post at a somewhat high level, and he can switch onto the perimeter. He can guard faster, shiftier guards, even at 6'11". And then Jordan Holloway, the second-round rookie from Notre Dame and the brother of new Steelers quarterback Brennan Holloway. He's only averaged 6.3 minutes per game this year. I think his career high in minutes is like 7. The Nets have only played him in garbage time. However, his averages per 36, quite high, 26, 6, and 6. Now, I wouldn't get too excited. He hasn't been very efficient. 52% true shooting percentage. Estimated wins added isn't very high. But I like what he provides as a three-point shooter. I think there's some upside to be more of the three-level shot maker. Defensively, he's good enough. He's an impressive athlete, and he's only 19 years old. The Nets have a lot of guys on the wings. Drake Powell, the second-year pro from UNC, has had a great year. And again, as I mentioned, with all the picks they have upcoming, they don't really care for a project in Holloway, who they drafted in the late 50s this year. The Nets are the 12 seed, but they're only a game out of the play-in, and their thought process is, well, our roster's not very good, but why not go for it? Why not try to get a play-in spot in the Eastern Conference? What's the worst case? We don't have control of our own draft pick this year, so there's no reason for them to tank this season because the Rockets have control of their first rounder. That's going to be the only trade I end up making for us. This is what the lineup will look like now with the addition of Asa Newell. I'm going to start him over Singleton, but they're both going to get roughly the same amount of minutes. And then Jordan Holloway will get some minutes to start off the bench with some of the injuries we have. I'm fascinated to see how he plays, given that he's very unproven. His career high in minutes is 7. The Nets didn't really seem like they cared for his development too much. Let's look at some trades now across the rest of the NBA. It's now or never for the Golden State Warriors. They're having a great year, but Steph Curry plans on retiring at season's end, and Jimmy Butler's not getting any younger, so they know they've got to go all in on a title now. They don't have the picks to make a big move. They did last year with Jaylen Brown. So they're going to add Tyus Jones. They need a backup guard. They're going to get him and Jabari Walker in exchange for Jordan Walsh and another younger player who they added this year in the draft. A 3-teamer here. It's a pretty straightforward one. Jarris Walker has finally started to take a leap with the Pacers, but he's expiring. They don't really want to pay him. And Indy's kind of on the outside looking into the play-in spot. They've been disappointing, even with Tyrese Halliburton healthy and playing really well. This year, it's Pascal Siakam who's missed time with injury. So he's going to Toronto, a team who's kind of missing that skill set. The Raptors have had a pretty good year this season. They're going to trade Grady Dick to the Celtics. They don't really need Dick as much. They don't really want to pay him. He's been solid this season. His estimated wins added is higher than Walker, but I think Walker's been more efficient on offense, and I think he's the better defender. Hugo Gonzalez, the former first-rounder, and 3 seconds are going to go to Indiana as a result. So Boston adds some shooting. The Raptors add some versatility. The Pacers get a young prospect and some draft picks. Scoot Henderson is on the move to the Miami Heat. The Blazers have been a little disappointing this year. They as well are on the outside looking in of a play-in spot. Scoot's on the last year of his contract before entering restricted free agency, and he just hasn't really gotten better since the start of his career. He's the same player pretty much since he was a rookie, and the Blazers are moving on. They don't want to pay him long-term. Their thought process is, why not get a point guard who has multiple years of team control, who we can develop in Kasparis Jakučionis, who's been not great, not horrible, but not great so far in a year and a half with Miami, the 20th overall pick out of Illinois. The Heat are currently a playoff team in the Eastern Conference. They've been pretty good, and they want to upgrade at the point guard position. They're getting the guy in Scoot Henderson who they think they can develop in the long term. So the Heat get better. They get a really once highly regarded prospect in Scoot. The Blazers get younger and a player they feel they can develop in Kasparis Jakučionis. Next up, we're going to get a little bit bigger. Jordan Poole in New Orleans is having a really good season. 41% from 3. He's expiring, so it's not like his contract is going to be some long-term hindrance. And I could see a contending team looking to add some microwave scoring like the Cleveland Cavaliers. They have Darius Garland, they have Donovan Mitchell, but they're lacking depth. DeAndre Hunter has not been very good this year. He is shooting 38% from 3, but he's only averaging 11 points per game. I think the lowest of his career. And his estimated wins added is in the negatives, whereas Jordan Poole's is at like 6. New Orleans will also be getting Nick Rictoric, who was drafted at the end of the first round this year by Cleveland. He's struggled so far, but has some potential, along with a first-rounder in 2031 from the Cavs. All right, let's get to the big ones. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a player option at the end of the year. The Bucks, I believe, are in 11th place in the Eastern Conference. Even if they do make it in the play-in, they're not going anywhere. Does Giannis really want to stick around for a team that has no future? They don't have young talent. They don't have draft capital. There's no way out other than trading Giannis. Of the contending teams in the NBA, the Rockets can give the best offer. Jabari Smith, Draymond Green, who's in there to match salaries, and 3 first-rounders, 2 of which are this year. At just 23 years old, Jabari Smith gives the Bucks some size and shooting, and he's under contract for a while. They're getting the Nets pick this year. They're getting the Suns pick this year. Neither of those are probably going to be in the top part of the draft, bearing some lottery luck. But still, 2 lottery picks for Milwaukee is the perfect opportunity for them to rebuild their team. If it doesn't seem like enough for Giannis, maybe that's true. But at the other contenders who would be interested, the Rockets would be able to give the most. And Giannis is a rental at the end of the day. The other big-time star who's on the move will be LeBron James. We hinted at this in the last episode. LeBron's 42. He hasn't gotten worse at all. His numbers are still out of this world, but he is planning to retire at the end of the year. He wants to compete for a title, and the Lakers are currently in 11th place. And much like Milwaukee, even if they make the play-in, they're not going anywhere, especially in a Western Conference that is as good as ever with the 5 best teams in the league. So LeBron is going to Dallas. He will join forces with his former teammates Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis for the last dance, along with Cooper Flagg. The Mavericks will add salary fillers. Ryan Nembhard is a player the Lakers are excited about. And then 2 first-rounders, including the Lakers' own pick in 2029. It might be a lot for a rental giving up multiple picks, but none of those players really moved the needle. And LeBron is still one of the best players on the planet. And maybe Dallas convinces him to stick around for another year. So there is your trade deadline. A few talented role players on the move. Scoot Henderson to Miami, Jordan Poole to Cleveland, Giannis to the Rockets with Kevin Durant, Alperen Şengün, and Amen Thompson. Good Lord. And then LeBron James to the Mavericks with Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, and Cooper Flagg. So let's take a look at our next game here against Brooklyn. We made a trade with the Nets. They added Davion Mitchell. We acquired Jordan Holloway. The roster is not great. Their highest rated player is 80 overall, Isaiah Hartenstein. That's not good. They might be the only team whose highest rated player is lower than us. So 2 teams who are on paper really bad, but have overperformed in terms of record. The Nets are 20-30. They're in the mix for the play-in in the Eastern Conference. And then us, even though we have probably a bottom 3 roster in the NBA, we've still been highly respectable compared to some of these other teams like the Sonics and the Wizards, who I don't even know if those 2 teams have combined for 10 wins so far this year. Asa Newell and Jordan Holloway will make their roller debuts. Newell will get the start, while Holloway, it's a familiar sight for him, given that he, of course, started his career here in Brooklyn with the Nets. We'll get to see our guy Davion Mitchell coming off the bench for Brooklyn as Hartenstein wins the tip. We are underway at the Barclays Center. Devin Carter pokes it away from Ben Seraph, and here comes the Rollers in transition. Mathurin, quick 3 is good. Benedict Mathurin gets the scoring started. He does not get moved at the deadline. We're hoping to keep him around for the long haul. What a great free agent signing he has been. Up and in is Ben Seraph, the second-year pro. He's taken a little bit of a leap this year. 8 points per game. His efficiency, though, still kind of low. One of Brooklyn's 5 first-rounders in the 2025 draft. We'll get to see all of them except for Nolan Traore, who's injured. That one is tipped up and in by Isaiah Hartenstein. Nets take the lead. Mathurin with space, throws it down! The first 5 for Vegas goes to Ben Math. That one is off the mark. Rebound by Bryce Sensabaugh. And here comes the Rollers. Carter with a nice pass. Asa Newell! His first points as a Roller in with the slam. And it's 7-4. There's Latonka McClain, the 9th overall pick from Texas, getting the start for Brooklyn. Seraph inside with a dime for Dariq Whitehead, former top recruit in his high school class. Injuries held him back early, but he's finally getting a chance to shine. McClain, the offensive rebound for Brooklyn. Porter hands it off for McClain. Sends it over to Ben Seraph for 3 is good. Latonka McClain is not flashy, but he is the thorn in your side that will bother you the whole game. And his offensive rebound in that possession gave them the 3 points. Iguodaro no good. Newell tips it over to Dariq Whitehead, a couple of former Montverde guys. Whitehead up and in with the layup, and the Nets will regain the lead. It's 11-9. Here's Carter with it. Looks to blow by Seraph. Carter, pump fake. Ben Math, top of the key. 3 is good. An early 8 for Benedict Mathurin. 13-13. Pump fake. Mathurin. One-handed poster! He caught a body. Isaiah Hartenstein. Revenge for the 2025 finals as it's 15-13. Rollers ahead. Porter, no good. Rebound by Iguodaro, and here comes Vegas. Mathurin on the drive. The reverse is good. He's got a dozen. What a start For Benedict Mathurin, a very efficient 5 of 7 so far. 4-point lead for Vegas. Seraph on the wing, bounces it. Whitehead for 3. That one is good. Dariq Whitehead looking really solid to start for Brooklyn. 17-16, Mathurin with Hardenstein. That's too easy. Up top, Carter for 3, doing a little bit of everything with 6, 4, and 2. Filling up the stat sheet as it's 20-18. Aaron Wiggins in the game, hands it to Mathurin, bounces to Carter. Pump fake, looks to get by Jaeger Demon, and he does. Carter in for the layup, a 4-point lead for the Rollers. 2 minutes to go in the first. Iguodala with it, bounces it in the corner. Aaron Wiggins saved basketball. He hits the 3. 7-point lead. Here's Demon, the 8th overall pick a couple years ago. Sends it to Michael Porter Jr., no good. Rebound by Iguodala with a cross-court pass for Wiggins. He's got Singleton with the slam. Excellent ball movement. The deep pass for Wiggins. The assist to Singleton. Excellent work by Vegas. Off the miss. Here's Whitehead on the drive. And one! We tried to draw the charge. The defender Wiggins tried to set his feet, but he was a smidge too late. 27-24. Hardy's pass tipped and caught by Jordan Holloway, the rookie from Notre Dame. Holloway gets it over to Hardy with just seconds left. Hardy in isolation. Tries to get by Damon. His shot is no good. Jaden Hardy's been our end-of-quarter guy. But that was really solid defense by Demon to end the first. 27-24 lead for the Rollers. I think the defense has been really solid so far for us. The Nets are only 2 for 9 from deep. Mathurin's got 12. He's on fire. Meanwhile, Whitehead has 10. Seraph with 7. Rivers to Newell. Sidestep. 3-ball is good. If that 3-point shot can be a little more consistent, Asa Newell could become a deadly player on offense. Rivers, the lob. Singleton. No! Mark with the rebound. Mark, what are you doing? Mark, make the dunk! 3 for Newell. No good. And here comes the Nets. We had 3 chances there. Davion Mitchell, off night. Well, it's been an off night for the Nets offense so far, but Danny Wolf drills the 3, and we are within 1. Damon swings it for Drake Powell. He's had a really good year for the Nets. Mitchell back to Damon for 3. The Nets take the lead, and all of a sudden, they're starting to hit from beyond the arc. Another failed lob. Newell nearly baptizes the defender, but misses the dunk. On the other end, Damon with the poster over his former teammate Holloway, and the Rollers got to call time. The Nets on a 10-3 start to the quarter. Singleton misses the layup. As I mentioned, he's hot and cold sometimes. Right now, he's freezing. Nikola Jovic in for the layup. It's a 6-point lead. This is trending towards becoming a disaster. We played well in the first quarter and have collapsed within 2 minutes on both ends of the floor. What is happening? Gonna try for the pick and pop. Newell for 3 is good. The lefty stroke. And Asa Newell's got 8. We're giving him a bigger offensive role than Atlanta did as he chooses not to hustle back on defense. Lovely. Jovic hits the 3. I guess we've got something to work on with the new kid on the block. There he is with the slam in the double figures with 10. Newell's an athlete, man. He can get up there. And he's a young guy, only in his second season for the University of Georgia. Damon's got McClain. He's blocked. Oh, so Iguodala with the snuff. He sends it for Mathurin. Gets by the defender. Mathurin, contested layup is good. And the lead is within 2. Now that we've got Ben Math in, hopefully the offense again can play like they did for part of the first. Seraph in the corner. Michael Porter Jr. for 3. He has struggled to shoot it so far. He gets that one to go. 42-37. Here's Devin Carter looking to get the pick and roll again. It's Iguodala with the slam. Of the bigs, it really does feel like Iguodala is the most comfortable in the pick and roll. A big reason why I'm comfortable starting him with Jalen Williams out. Carter around the screen. Carter for 3. That one's good. Really impressive first half for Devin Carter. He's got 11 and 6. Seraph with the move. Seraph over Carter. What a play. Ben Seraph showing off his bag as he penetrates to the lane and finishes. 48-44. McClain no good. Wiggins the rebound. Aaron Wiggins inside. Singleton the slam. Mark Singleton cuts the lead within 2. McClain has it again. 6'9". He kind of is at his best at the 5, an undersized big. Seraph for 3. He is really playing well right now for the Nets. He's been their best offensive player. Fade away three. Sensabaugh, no good. Singleton the rebound, too easy. Glass cleaning is Mark Singleton. 53-48. Sensabaugh moving three, no good. This time, Singleton does not get the rebound. Here is Dariq Whitehead with it for the Nets. Whitehead trapped inside. Floater is good. And the lead is at 7. 55-48. Trying to swing it around with just seconds left in the quarter. Here's Wiggins around the screen. Wiggins, nice move. Layup is good. Aaron Wiggins has got a little bag. Look at him. Shot clock unplugged. Porter, no. Rebound, Hardenstein. Our team is just not good on the glass. The rebounding continues to be a problem, and our best rebounder is hurt. That doesn't help. McClain, no good. He has not made a three yet this year. Full court heave is almost good. It was actually kind of close off the front of the rim. 55-50. Not a very good second quarter for Las Vegas. On offense, 41% from the field. Only made 3 triples. The Nets, meanwhile, 62% from the field in the second quarter. 56% from beyond the arc. Certainly a team effort scoring-wise for Brooklyn. They had 5 players with at least 5. Seraph and Demon with 7. It wasn't one guy doing all the scoring, but everybody was eating for the Nets. So we've got to be able to defend all these guys. Carter with a nice move. Splits the defense over Seraph to start the scoring in the third. Our offense didn't give as much in the second. We need certainly more. Porter for 3. That one is good over the extended arm of Sensabaugh. 58-52. Carter swings it for Mathurin. Mathurin, the cross, the sauce, and the lay. Counted in a foul. And 1 for Benedict Mathurin. 60-55. Here's Carter. Oh, the crossover on Seraph. He's got Sensabaugh. 3 rattles in. His first points of the game. A scoreless first half for Sensabaugh. He went 0 for 4. All of his misses from deep. Ben Seraph gets one back. He led Brooklyn in scoring in the opening half with 14. Here is Mathurin with it. Mathurin inside, passes tipped. Iguodaro, the reverse layup. The Rollers are hanging in there. We've got it within 3. Porter brings it up for Brooklyn. Drives left. Layup is good. Nice maneuver by Michael Porter Jr., who also did not shoot it very well in the first half. 2 for 12 and 1 for 8 from deep, but he's looking better in the third. Hardy, layup. That one is good. We're keeping the lead within roughly 3 to 5 points, but we haven't been able to take the lead yet in the third. Whitehead around the screen. Whitehead inside. Pick and roll for Seraph. The guard uses the roller there, and he's in for the slam. It worked. Give him credit. Here's Newell, 10 and 6. Nice move on McClain. And Newell is in for the slam. Physically, I think Newell and McClain do have some similarities as undersized bigs. I think McClain probably is a little bit stronger, a little bit better inside, but I think Newell's got more versatility, more than outside game. Whitehead inside, it's tipped. Newell nearly had it, instead it's Seraph with 8 on the shot clock. Around the screen, Ben Seraph tightly matched up with Newell. Shot clock winding down, that one bounces off. Here comes the Rollers, 5v4. Hartenstein on the other end of the floor in pain. Newell gets it to Sensabaugh. His shot no good. Unable to take advantage of the extra number with Isaiah Hartenstein hurting as it looked like he got injured trying to match up with Singleton going for the rebound. So what happened was Singleton kind of tapped him right there. Are we sure that's not a flop? I feel like he barely hit him. But Isaiah Hartenstein is hurt as it's 67-64. Here's Holiday with it. We might get mixed up with Holiday and Holloway on the same team as Drew gets the assist. Sensabaugh with the layup. 67-66. Singleton gets it for Holiday. Layup is no good. He was open. There was nobody in front of him. I'm not sure how he missed that one on the other end. Seraph, Porter, clank. McClain with the rebound and the putback. The Tonka truck is honking away as the Rollers call time. It looked like somebody got hurt on the other end of the floor for us. Jaden Hardy goes around the baseline, skies up for the rebound, and he lands awkwardly on his hip. What in the Golden State Warriors franchise is this? 72-66. Drew Holiday, pick and roll. Mark Singleton with the dunk. He's got 8 and 4. Has been an up and down game for Singleton, again in the midst of a cold streak. Seraph counted and a foul, and 1. Can't foul the jump shooter like that. He was pulling up. It was not going to be an easy shot. 75-68. McClain blocked at the rim. Singleton pins it off the backboard Wiggins finds Singleton, passing it around. Sensabaugh now with it around the screen. Open three. Clank off the mark. Rebound by McLean. He continues to be a nuisance on the glass. Demon with it for Brooklyn in a 7-point lead. He's got Ben Seraph. Seraph guarded by Drew Holiday in the corner for Derek Whitehead. Whitehead with 8 on the shot clock. Finds Demon. Good defense on this possession by the Rollers. Jovic with a little space. No good. McLean the rebound. McLean the putback. The rookie from Texas continuing to do the dirty work. I think he's going to stick around in this league for a while because he does all the little things, even though he doesn't have that one great skill. 3 no good. I'm surprised they didn't call a foul. But McLean's there again. Another putback. And the lead is up to 11. Latonka McLean continues to be an absolute pain for us to match up against. Carter pick and roll for Asa Newell. 14 points for the youngster from the University of Georgia. Here's Wiggins with it inside. He's got Newell up for Jet Rivers. The rookie from UConn has really struggled as of recent. He hasn't shot it well from 3 at all over the last month. From 2, it's been bad. He does hit the mid-range jumper there, though. He started off his rookie season well, but certainly has hit the rookie wall. Damn it, that one is good over Asa Newell. A 9-point lead late in the quarter. It's Devin Carter with it. We can't have Jaden Hardy shoot the last shot because, well, he got hurt. With 5 seconds left. Carter finds Matherin around the screen. Long 2, no good, and that will wrap up the third. The Nets lead it by 9. It'll be an uphill battle in the third, but I suppose it is possible. It won't be possible if we shoot 1 for 7 from deep, though. That's what we got in the third quarter. Nobody had more than 5. We need somebody to kind of step up. Ben Seraph, meanwhile, at 10 in the third. He's got 24 overall. He's played outstanding for the Nets. Jaeger Demon with the layup. First to score for Brooklyn. 75-85. Here's Jaeger Demon again! 2 hands for safety. It's a 12-point lead with 7 to go. The Nets firmly in control. Davion Mitchell lobs it up! And the throwdown for Brooklyn. They're back up by 12. Porter, jumper, no. Carter the rebound, 15, 9, and 7. Does he even shot at a triple-double? Carter up and in for the layup, and the lead is back within 10. Here is Brooklyn with it. Damon guarded by Benedict Matherin. Damon, floater, no. Then Math the rebound. Here come the Rollers moving quick. Sensabaugh inside for Iguodaro. And the lead is within 8. We just got to keep stacking. Good defensive possessions, smart decisions offensively. Seraph, no. McLean, another rebound. I mean, seriously, he's not that tall. He's only 6'9", yet he's grabbing everything around the glass. Carter in the corner. Sensabaugh for 3. And the lead sits at 9. Big shot for Bryce Sensabaugh. Damon, no. Matherin, the rebound. Under 5 minutes to go, down by 9. If we want to start a comeback, it's got to be now. Here's Bryce Sensabaugh. Layup is good. That's not an easy play to make with 2 defenders in between them. And he's still able to make the play. 7-point lead. A little surprised that wasn't a foul. I thought I saw some contact on the jumper, but we'll take it. Iguodaro gets by Porter. And Iguodaro brings the lead within 5. 93-88. The Rollers are starting to play better. Is it too little too late? Or they started the comeback? Seraph for 3. Is good! Big make for Brooklyn. 27 for Ben Seraph. Carter double. No, it rattles out. Unlucky bounce for Devin Carter. Next, looking to make it a double-digit lead. Whitehead drives left and jams it home. 98-88. It's not looking good. We've got to be near flawless now the rest of the way. Around the screen, Asa Newell with the jam. He's up to 17. That's a career high, by the way, in his first game with the Rollers. Seraph passes out of the shot. It's intercepted. Matherin with Porter inside. Newell all the way. And the lead is within 6. 19-9 for Asa Newell. Porter, no. Newell, a double-double, his 10th rebound. With under 3 to go, we've got to keep it moving. Newell on the drive, no good. Iguodaro the rebound. Iguodaro the putback, and the lead is within 4. 98-94, we're right back in it. Still need some things to go our way. 3 is no good for Seraph. Again, that probably should have been a foul on the shot. Sensabaugh in the corner. Newell. Bang! Asa Newell is heating up. The lead is within 1. They were up by 10 like a minute ago. Here is Seraph with it, guarded by Carter. Just over 2 to go. McLean guarded by the red-hot Asa Newell. Jaeger Demon. 3 won't fall. The Nets offense is struggling, and our offense is on fire. Newell for the lead! Asa Newell is taking over this game. He has scored 9 points in the last minute and a half as we've gone on this 11-0 run. Here is Seraph with it. He's got Whitehead. Big-time shot. They needed that badly. Ending the scoring drought. Nets back up by a pair. Mathurin finds Carter. We want Asa Newell with the ball. He's the guy making the plays. Newell, turn around. We're tied again at 101. That's 11 of our last 13 points over the last 2 minutes for Asa Newell. Whitehead, jumper for the lead, no good. McLean, another rebound, no good. McLean, another rebound, no good. I mean, seriously, I get that he missed twice and we played good defense, but somebody's got to stop him on the glass. There's Newell for the lead. 103-101. 28 points for Asa Newell. Again, taking over the end of this game. Seraph with a minute to go. The Nets on the verge of finishing the collapse. Here's Porter with it. Guarded by Mathurin. Our defense as tight as it can get. Porter up top for Latonka McLean. He's got Seraph for the lead. No foul again. We recognize that the refs are not calling them, so we're going to continue to play physical defense. There's been 3 or 4 close calls, though, in this fourth quarter. Maybe it's the same officials who have been calling the White Sox playoff games. Carter with 30 seconds misses the layup. I wanted to hold some time, but not too much time. Nets have a timeout. Decide not to use it. 2 ties, 3 takes the lead. Ben Seraph with it for Brooklyn, guarded by Carter. Whitehead, no foul again. We clearly touched him. But if the officials are not going to call it, we're going to keep doing it. Now it's time to play the foul game. I'm definitely not getting it to Carter and his 50% free-throw shooting self. So it'll be Benedict Mathurin, who is second on the team in free-throw percentage this year. First one bounces in. Lead is within 3. All right, big second one. We can make it a 2-score lead right here. Benedict Mathurin, it is good. 105-101. Nets will use the last timeout. I'm going to have Drew Holiday come in for Carter. Holiday's the more proven defender, and if Devin Carter gets the ball to shoot at the line, then that's a problem. Jovic, 3, no good. Sensabaugh, the rebound. He is fouled by McLean, and that should just about do it. The impressive comeback for the Rollers is complete. Sensabaugh makes them both. And the Rollers, who were down by as many as 12 points, with 5 minutes left in the fourth. We were down by 10 with 3 minutes left. This is like Warriors versus Spurs Season 3 Game 7 levels of collapse by Brooklyn. But now we're on the other end of it. Sure, it's a regular season game in February, a little different than Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, but that's neither here nor there. The Nets were up by 9 going into the fourth. They led by as many as 12 at the 5:13 mark. At 3:47, they were up by 10, and they made one shot the rest of the way. They were outscored 19-3 in the final 3.5 minutes. I mean, look at the shot chart in the fourth quarter. The Nets had nothing going other than the paint. We were making shots everywhere. Asa Newell, welcome to the Rollers. Best game of his career. 28-10, 3 blocks on really good shooting. Career high in points, field goals made. 3-pointers made. Season high in rebounds. Career high in blocks. His previous season high in points was 11. He well over doubled that. Closer to tripling it. Hopefully a sign of things to come for Asa Newell. 108 games in Atlanta, 0 double-doubles, but he's 1 for 1 here. Mathurin, 19-6-5. Carter, 17-7-11. His first double-double of the year and just the third of his career. He was very good and very efficient. Mathurin, 12. Iguodaro, 10. Holloway, quiet in his Roller debut. 27-8 for Seraph. He was hooping, although he did struggle in that fourth quarter. I still don't really know where this came from. A career high for him. Demon, 19. Whitehead, 18. Porter, we need to make podcasting equipment more expensive. McLean, 10-17, 6 on the offensive glass. Yeah, he's a beast. Do not want to play him ever again. So we take the win. An impressive comeback for the Rollers. We're going to simulate our next 2, both at home. We've got the Jazz and the Pistons. What is with all these back-to-backs? I'm not going to simulate through the Dallas game because I am considering playing them in the next episode, given that they have LeBron with their current group. So I know we just played LeBron in the last episode, but that would be a pretty fun game. So Jaden Hardy strained his hip in this matchup. We can play him through it, but there's no real point to. We are losing shot making off the bench, though, so we're going to count on these guards who are all getting more minutes. Holiday, Rivers, Holloway. We need them to step up. Split the 2 games. We beat the Jazz in a close one. Utah 15-40. They're obviously not very good. We had 3 guys with 18. Romeo De La Rosa, the rookie, had 30 and 6 blocks. De La Rosa is a great shot blocker, really good defender. All of his numbers are good except for the field goal percentage. He hasn't been that efficient. The top rookie, though, has been his teammate, Karthik Patel. Late first-round pick, absolutely balling. He is certainly going to win the Rookie of the Year. Then we lost to Detroit, but competitively. Mathurin, 21. Newell only shot the ball 3 times. I don't like that. Cade, meanwhile, had 39. So that gets us set for All-Star Weekend. We only have 1 participant, that being Mark Singleton in the Rising Stars game on Team World. Remember, he is Nigerian heritage, so he is playing on Team World rather than the American team. So maybe we'll player lock a little bit with him in the Rising Stars game. Otherwise, that'll wrap it up. Let me know what you thought at the trade deadline down below in the comments. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to hype the video. Peace out.